Welcome everyone to the Coach's Corner. John Stanka here with Lauren Kahn, Iona women's lacrosse head coach. Lauren, how you doing?
Good. I'm great. How are you doing?
I think we're all hanging in there, right? How are you coping with the quarantine life and the self-containing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I definitely miss my girls and miss work, but trying to stay busy, trying to stay pretty active. So no real complaints over here.
What have you been doing to stay active during the more free time that you have now?
I go on a lot of walks. That's like my daily activity. And I pretty much do that every day. And then I try and, like I said, stay pretty busy. I've been reading a lot more, which I never really did in the past, but I've been trying to read a lot more. But that's really it. Like, luckily, my fiance's home, so we've been just trying to stay active, try to stay busy, try and work out here and there. So it's been good. It's been good.
What is the best book or like maybe magazine that you've read that you picked up that you haven't picked up in a while?
Oh God, that's so hard. I started rereading Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is my favorite book of all
I
time.
never read that. I never read the book. It's on my to-read list, but I've never read it.
If you want it, I have it. It is literally the best book of all time, and I love the movie, and I think the book is better.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
yeah,
Have
so
you
good.
watched Westworld or have you read Westworld? Because that's by the same author as the HBO show.
Really?
Yes,
No, I
type of thing.
haven't,
Yeah.
but people told me that Westworld's really, really good. So
I am
I
a big
feel like
fan.
that's HBO, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I need to. You're like the 10th person that's told me about this show.
Yeah. Season one is very good. Season two took a bit of a dip, but then season three is back up there. So it's very, very good.
Is it confusing? I heard it's pretty confusing.
I won't lie to you. Yes. Yes, it is. You cannot be like twiddling on your phone and then look up and then twiddle back down. You need to kind of hone in a little bit.
Oh, it's going to be very
So it's
difficult.
like a film session for you. You're usually the one leading the film sessions for the team. This is like
Yeah.
us world leading your film session. So you got to pay attention to
Oh
every single
God.
second.
It's just a taste of my own medicine.
Yeah, exactly. So what's a typical day been like for you with the work that you have to do, also managing some free times and giving yourself some breaks because we can't work 24/7 now. That's just not
Right.
possible. So what's a typical day like for you with all your work and stuff like that?
Um, well, I definitely wake up a lot later because I don't have to drive to work. So
True.
that's pretty nice. Um, so typical day, I mean, I usually just wake up, get some breakfast. Shockingly enough, my email hasn't really stopped flowing during this time, which is good. I like to stay pretty busy. And we're kind of in a dead period recruiting wise, but that doesn't mean we can't continue to watch videos and get emails and stuff. So we've been trying to stay up on recruiting a lot, just because it's one thing that we definitely can do. We can go back and watch film, and it's a tough time for these kids because they're not playing and there's kind of a lot of unknown and these uncharted waters that we all have to kind of tackle together. So we've been trying to stay on top of that as much as we can. Um, and then besides that, we really kind of are starting to plan for next year, which seems
Crazy.
wild. Yeah. But really trying to like tackle the schedule for next year, think of fall activities already once we can get back on campus. So it stinks, but it's kind of nice in a way that we can kind of get ahead of ourselves and plan for the future and things looking forward for next year.
What's an aspect that you think, obviously you love lacrosse and you love working and stuff like that. It's what you love to do as a coach, but maybe a piece that you didn't realize you love so much, but now you have a new appreciation for not being around your team every day, not being in the office every day, not being on the field, like an aspect of coaching that you maybe felt underappreciated, but now you realize is part of it that you really, really like.
Um, oh, that's a really, really good question. um, I think one thing that we've really kind of I guess been more involved in recently since we can't be on the field is trying to be involved in the student athletes academics, and it's something that you know as a coach you always need to be involved in. You need to be doing check-ins. We get like the progress reports and things like that, but during this time is a really tough a tough challenge for a lot of these kids and trying to do school online. And I know me personally, I took a couple online classes in college and I hated them. Like I really did. Like I just, yeah, I don't know. I just like being in the classroom, and it's very, very easy to get distracted when you're trying to do an online class. And I think that's something that we're trying to help them with now, is staying focused and doing your schoolwork, because it's the one thing now that they really can focus on. Like they have no obligations from us as a staff in terms of working out or playing it as much as we hope they are. The one thing that they really need to focus on is the academic piece. And I think that's something that has helped us as a staff, is being involved in that process that they're going through now.
Can you talk a little bit how Rory, Sarah, and Jamie, the academic people within the Iona athletics community, have helped you and the team kind of through the transition and getting the student athletes acclimated to the new environment that they're learning in?
I cannot, I honestly cannot speak highly enough about the three of them. That I can't even imagine how difficult their job is right now, trying to go through this, because a lot of their job is about those relationships and bringing people in and talking to them and help them throughout their daily school lives. So now trying to do it over Zoom and over phone calls and FaceTimes and text messages, like I can't imagine how difficult it is for them. And to us as a staff, and to me personally, I almost feel like my relationship has gotten stronger with a lot of them, because I rely on them so much now. And the amount of emails I get from them and the texts and the phone calls, like it almost feels like it's 24/7 thing. Like I can call them or text them at any point during the day, and they'll be there to help me or to help my kids. So I truly can't speak highly enough about what they've been doing for the student athletes as a whole.
You mentioned that they're used to being in front of the student athletes, talking to them that way, but so are you. And now
Right.
you're away from your student athletes. So how have you kind of coped, not coped, but how have you adjusted with meeting with them, whether it be through Zoom meetings, phone calls, text messages? How have you been communicating with your Gaels?
I miss my girls a lot. I do. You know, you're so used to seeing them every single day and having your office door open 24/7. I'm so used to them just popping in after practice. And when I started, you know, at my old job, the main campus was 100 blocks away from my office. So after practice, I never really saw my girls that much. I tried to pop in on campus, but it was a lot. It was difficult, and this team and this school environment was such a breath of fresh air, and it was something, you know, I lived for it. I loved for it. Like after practice, like I knew I would see a lot of them throughout the day, and it was so nice. And now that we went from seeing each other every day to not seeing each other at all, it's sad. It really sucks. But we definitely try and stay connected, whether it's texting. I FaceTimed a couple of them, like super randomly. I probably like scared them, like FaceTiming them randomly.
Oh no, coach is calling.
Yeah, exactly. I know that would have been my reaction in college if my coach was just randomly calling me. And then we've done, you know, some Zoom calls as a whole team, which was so nice. And I hope this doesn't, you know, obviously we know we're not going back anytime soon. But I hope that like over the summer I can see them a decent amount, because it is hard. It really does suck, because you go from seeing them every single day, X amount of hours a day, to just not seeing them at all. And it sucks.
There's also been a big adjustment for you, first year head coach, and you're dealing with something completely unprecedented. Literally nobody's had any experience before.
Yeah.
So if you have touched base with any of your former coaches, whether you played for them or coaches that you worked with for advice on how to handle it, whether there's been a community of college lacrosse coaches who have kind of developed a game plan or shared best initiatives to keep connected, is there like a community that you're talking to make sure you get the most out of this experience for yourself and your student athletes?
Oh yeah, totally. The lacrosse community is so special, and I feel like this is probably the same in every sports community. But everyone is just so close, and we as a governing body, kind of feel like we're all in this together. And I think that there's such a sense of family, and lacrosse is kind of one of those sports right now that's still growing, and there's still so much to be learned and changed and adapted. And I think during this time especially, you really see it. I am very fortunate enough where a lot of people from UConn are in the coaching world. We have a huge coaching tree, which has been awesome, because I know at any point of the day, I can call them, text them, like ask for advice, ask for help, see what they're doing. And it's been really, really rewarding, because they do a lot of different things that I necessarily wouldn't even think of. So it's been good. And I think that during this time, there's a big social media push right now, because that's like the one thing that we can control and keep our alums and our future players and everything engaged, and even our current team. So I think like we are constantly like stealing ideas from each other and staying involved and things like that. So I think that's been really, really big for us. But I definitely have a really good like group of people that I know I can turn to during this difficult time.
So obviously your season was cut short a little bit in, again, unprecedented circumstances. But when you look back on your first season, even though you didn't complete it, what are a couple of the memories that are going to stick out to you most as your first year as a head coach here at Iona College and in college across as a whole?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. Like I said, like this year was so special. I honestly, I couldn't have even drawn up a better first year, and I would be totally lying if I said I wasn't nervous and I wasn't anxious like coming
It's
into this
natural
job.
though.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely was. And I couldn't have pictured it anything better. I mean, obviously I would have liked the season to finish, because that would have been better.
Yeah.
But I mean, we ended 3-4, which is, we were on the up and up. We had so much potential. We had so much stride. I mean, obviously the one memory that really sticks out in my mind is our first win in general against UNH. It was my first win as a head coach. It was the first win of the year. And it's funny, one of our fans that was at the game actually just sent me a video of the final horn like 3 days ago that she had filmed, and it was just, it like brought me back right away. It was so, a lot of people crying, but you put so much into it, so it was so nice. But there's so many special things about this team and about this season that, I mean, are just unforgettable.
So before I let you go, I just want to ask you one final thing. If there's a message that you want to give to Gael Nation, to your student athletes, and to your fans that you just kind of want to share about your future, and just one thing to Gael Nation that you'd like them to know.
One thing to Gael Nation. Well, for starters, Gael Nation, we love you. I think through and through, this year has been one of the best experiences of my entire life. And I think there's nothing better than this community, this staff, these student athletes. And I think, you know, going into summer and going into next year, like, we will be back. And I keep saying this to my girls, like, we were on a mission this year, and we're not going to stop that mission just because, you know, something gets in our way for a little bit. I think that please come out next year again and support us, because we will be back in full force on a mission.
Yeah, I don't think you have to worry about the support. I think you got that behind you all the way.
Yeah, I think so too.
Coach, I really appreciate you taking the time from your very, very busy schedule now in self-contained self-quarantine. I appreciate you taking the time, and yeah, best of luck.
No, thank you so much. Thank you.